Good morning. Yeah, another lazy day. It's cloudy. I'm not a big fan of cloudy days. Makes me lazy, especially during the week on the way to work. And I feel like yeah, I just hit the record button as usual. It's my blog. And a blog that I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. Interesting. TK, interesting. Probably one thing. I was reading someone else's blog as well yesterday, just for curiosity. And there's a topic about, am I or are you doing the things that you wanted to do? So, for example, your career. Right? As a personal thing, I am working as a junior architect. I wanted to become an architect since year 10 because I had so much fun doing graphics and computer design as my subject in high school. And I was pretty good at it. And I wasn't really good at English. I wasn't really good at business. But now I do have interest in business too. So I do. Currently, I've been reading quite a few books about businesses and entrepreneurship, just out of curiosity. But I was a little bit fortunate that I kind of know what I was doing, what I was heading, what I wanted to do. And when I get old, heading towards the things I wanted to do. But I am always skeptical to myself and say, yeah, I would love to do that, but sorry, what is this car doing? It's just driving in the middle lane, driving really, really slow. People in Australia sometimes just can't drive. It's not just Australians, but Asians too in Australia just can't drive. Sorry, where is I? Sorry, back to the topic. So I was very skeptical about, okay, so once I get into an architecture firm, I am in an architecture firm. What I feel right now is, okay, I love what I do, but once in a while, because I'm not experienced, right, as other people that work in this industry for more than 10, 15 years have more experience than me. That's normal. I just graduated. I just get into the firm. I didn't learn shit at university. I have to pretty much start over again at work. And I'm learning all the basic stuff, which is great. You need to learn all the basic stuff, which is good. But it's not creativity. What I imagine about architects, and it is. In future, I will be. Now, I'm still at the learning stage and I accepted it. But at the moment, I am currently in the stage of documenting and understanding the workflow, which is really interesting too. But there is no design as much that I thought it would be. Well, there is in some aspects. What do you think about this space? I don't feel right in this space. I don't want to talk about this. I'll talk about that, but at the moment I understand I do not have that experience, so I don't have in charge of that big project, or I'll be working with a team, but I don't have the responsibility of the big kind of a overview of the project, right? That's normal, that's fine. But it limits my focus on keep thinking on saying, is this what I'm going to do for the rest of my life? Okay, I've been working as an architect, but I do not want to be a draftsman. I do not want to keep doing this documenting stuff. I would love to be able to design. I would love to be able to be creative, which I will in more than 5 and 6 years, I will. But within the 5 and 6 years, am I able to handle, to get to where I want it to be? Well, yeah, if I have enough passion, which I have, then I will be. But within the 5 and 6 year journey, is there something that I can do to interest myself? To enjoy myself on the creative stuff. You know, I love making stuff. Like, you know, not creating stuff every day. I make like model and stuff like that. It's not like that. I like to think about, you know, creating stuff. You know, I recently got interested in photography, photo shoots, those kind of things. So I started to take some online courses. It's really great. You learn how to use a camera properly and those kind of little things and little tweaks. Once I learned the basics of basics, everybody have to go through the basics. Everybody, it does. But it's just takes patience to learn the basics. But once you know the basics, okay, good. You will have, you know, what I'm trying to do is that I will want to use that basic knowledge and slowly turning into a creative industry, like creative idea. So once I learn the camera, learn how all the basic stuff like ISO, shutter speed, apertures, and all these little things, and all that lighting and all that little things, all the basic stuff. I will love to go out in the mountains and take some couple photos to learn more about how to do controls. You know, getting light into the photos and those kind of little things. By actually doing something, right? Currently I am doing something, but I don't really feel that I am actually doing something that what I thought I would be doing when I was in grade 10. At the moment I accepted it because, as I said, I don't have that experience. Fair enough. I can't argue with that. In progression, I will learn. Okay, fair enough. Oh, that's fine. But my fear is, am I going to be stuck doing this for the rest of my life? Maybe I will not. The chances is I will not. But I can't help myself because it's been a year and a half, almost 2 years. Not doing the same thing. Of course, there's some progression on ideas and thinking about ideas and discussing about space and ideas in architecture, but I do have a little bit of fear that am I going to get bored on doing what I'm currently doing? You know, am I making something to keep myself motivated? Am I going to the office and doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, and I switch into the autopilot mode and the day just went so quick that I don't even realize that, oh, it's 5 o'clock already. I didn't feel that I did I didn't feel that I didn't do anything, you know. It's not the life it should be, you know. That's why I started to take some other interest on other things. Like, if I learn how to photograph properly, like learn new skills, maybe I have a way to incorporate that idea into my architecture. So maybe I will be able to take photographs of the buildings professionally and might able to sell it. Or maybe I can use that as like my second passion that it's related to architecture, but I'm still thinking about creativity, right? At the same time, like, okay, so that building, it's great, but what is great? Okay, I want to take a photo of it. Okay, I got the right angle, I take a photo, snap. Put that in a Photoshop, a little bit, a few tweakings, and I'm like, you know what, that's a really great photo. But at the same time, it's an architecture photo, which I love. Now, I can tell a story about that and share to the other people and say, look, I love being an architect, but also I love becoming a photographer, you know, love taking photos, I love taking photography. I'm combining that skill and bringing my own uniqueness of creativity, right? That's my thing. You know, I do not want to get bored on things that I love to do. You know, I think this is the message that I'm telling to myself and telling to you guys as well, that if there's some way in your career, doesn't matter what it is, accountants, professional business owners, entrepreneur, any sort of career they have, the moment that you feel something boring, maybe for the first 6 months you feel excited because you're learning all this new stuff, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, holy shit, this is real life. I was like, yeah, this is so good. There's a time in a moment that you feel like, I'm doing the same thing over and over again. And that's not bad. It's actually, you are mastering the basics, you know, and that's good. But in the same time, if you feel bored, if you feel that I'm not really that motivated that I used to be 6 months ago, think about, okay, I do have that feeling. I can't help to help that feeling. What can I do? Okay, is it because of lacking of freedom of design? Is it lacking of anything? This is going back to architecture theory, and this is what I know, right? I get bored, okay, what can I do? Alright, I really cannot input really much of a design, okay. But I love to keep creating, I love to keep making stuff, okay. If you love making models, great. Maybe, you know, make some models that you're currently working on. So a project that you're working on, make some models for fun. In any way, different way. That's crafting, that's making. You know, for me, I got interest in photography, so I love taking photos. So I would love to go to my goal. If I get better at this, I go everywhere in the world, travel the world, take some photos of their architecture and people and space, that feeling of that space, right? I believe that still image can tell a lot of story. That's what I believe in. That's why I love to learn how to photograph. But the key is this. Sorry, I got distracted again. The key is this. The moment that you feel bored at work, and no matter what profession it is, think outside the box. Okay. Do I love what I do? If it's yes, don't quit. You know, stay what you do, but tweak it a little bit to make your life a little bit, you know, start to get interesting. But in my case, photograph. Can I incorporate it in architecture? Yes. Okay, let me try that. Just try. It's guaranteed. Just try. So I can't give you an example of accountants or anything like that because I'm not specialized in that. But this thinking of I want to incorporate photography and architecture, that didn't come in just one day. Or it took me 1.5 or 2 years to figure it out. This idea that I felt that I'm bored. I want to do something a little bit better. You know, it just doesn't come. You know, like if some say, you know, I'm an accountant, I don't know, a boring job, that something that I feel bored. If there's a way, there's always a way to make your life interesting. The idea is to make something, use your hands, use your brains, think outside the box, and just do it. No, don't matter if you fail, don't matter that your interest kind of like disappoints you, that's just part of life. Just do it, get some experience. As I mentioned in the previous videos, experience is your best friend, right? Because experience can lead to more experience. This is my saying. But I think I'll end there, stop there. But all I'm trying to say is, if you feel bored, think outside the box. Go somewhere, take a trip or two. Think something else, calm yourself. Alright, why am I bored? Can I do something about it? You know, think about when I was a kid. Oh, I used to have that interest. Can I bring it back when in this age? Do it. Anything. Think outside the box. Think outside the box. I keep saying this. Think outside the box. Think outside the box. Think outside the box. Anyway, gotta stop right there, fellas. I hope that is quite meaningful. If it's not, well, I'm sorry. Anyway, peace out. Stay sexy. And just have fun in life, bud. Just have fun. See ya.